Maciej Liptic, coach to Dominika Cibulkova, summed up the mood of the semi-final meeting best. Single quote, "We still don't understand what happened," he said, shaking his head. "Defeat has no alibi, victory needs no explanation," it is said. Tell that to the stewards. Here was one win that demanded a second look, if only for wonder's sake. Last year Cibulkova won 4 matches in total in major championships. Here, she has won 6 already, with power to add, momentously and historically. The first was over Francesca Schiavone, a French Open champion. The last 4 were over seeds 16, 3, 11 and in Thursday's semi-final, No. 5, Agnieszka Radwanska. She has lost a set only to Maria Sharapova, and fewer games than any other player. Cibulkova's stature is such that if she does get to appear on the podium on Saturday, some wag will call out for her to stand up. On court, she burrows and bustles as only diminutive sportspeople can. She hit the ball and probably hard for her size or anyone's. She also thumped her chest with her fist with no less force, as the match developed momentum under her feet, like a horse spurred to a gallop. Of her ceaseless energy, she says, "It's in me. I was born with it. It's my gift." It was this more than any tactic or weapon that overwhelmed Radwanska. On Wednesday, Radwanska had played some of the most thrilling tennis of the tournament to beat reigning champion Victoria Azarenka. It was not so much that she had played her final the day before, but that she had played a final-like match only a day previously. On Thursday, she was sluggish and morose and rarely budged from the baseline. A ring-in would have given a more passable impersonation of Radwanska than this. Hers was the horse that balked. Mostly, this was Cibulkova's doing. But Radwanska's serve again failed her. She won only half of the first serves she landed, and just 2 points on her second serve. Cibulkova kept her shape even when all the thoughts started to come. Victory secured, she still had energy to shed. She flung her racket into the air, fell onto back and jiggled her legs at the sheer improbability of it all. Waiting for her in the dressing room was her friend Marion Bartoli, a shock winner of Wimbledon last year, also a fellow shorty, now retired. To Serena Williams, "They must look like mice at play." Cibulkova is the first Slovak, man or woman, to reach the final of a major. Lena has 4 times as many followers on social media as Slovakia has people. Her journey to the final contrasted sharply with Cibulkova's. She began against 2 qualifiers and has not yet played anyone ranked lower than 22. When down a match point against Lucy Safarova in the 3rd round, dark thoughts clouded her mind. At nearly 32, was she meant for this anymore? Suddenly, they cleared. So did the draw. With the eclipse of the top 3 seeds, and as the only former major winner left in the field, she became tournament favorite. Her semi-final was against Canadian teenager Gina Bouchard, whose arrival as a player was confirmed on Thursday by a raft of reports about her burgeoning marketability. When it comes to exploitation, sometimes it seems women's tennis wants to have its cake and eat it, too. Bouchard said she had only regulation nerves about this match but must have felt as if she missed the starter's gun. Lena was serving for the set before Bouchard had won a point on serve, and in less time than it took Roger Federer and Andy Murray to play one game on Wednesday night. Lee hit the ball so deep and flat that Bouchard became an incidental. But Lee's best shots were a series of cross-court backhands that looked as geometrically impossible as intersecting parallel lines. If Lee has a fault, it is serving out a set or match. A double fault halted her momentum. Bouchard found her range on her ground strokes and the balance of the match was tightly and fiercely contested. But the horse had bolted. 5 of the 6 players who appeared on Wednesday had not proceeded this far at the Australian Open previously. It became a day not of star quality, but novelty value. Among the women, victory belonged to the oldest and the shortest. Their identity poses a tug of allegiance for Saturday's matchgoers. Lee has established herself as a crowd favorite in Melbourne with her dog tennis and impish humor. But Cibulkova is a classic underdog, which in the Australian idiom makes also a favorite of a kind. She has never beaten Lee. But she had beaten Radwanska only once before Thursday, and lost to her 6-0, 6-0 in Sydney just more than a year ago. If there is a theme to this year's Open, it was articulated long ago by Henry Ford. History is bunk,